from around the world. Thanks for watching. Today we're going to talk about when could the bull market cycle top happen and how can we be ready for it so we're not literally left holding the bag or too much of our bags when the market capitulates. We're going to talk about that today, and then we're going to look into the Bitcoin chart. Before we do that, of course, as always, if you're a regular watcher of this channel, smash the like. This helps get this content out to more people and does help support the channel. Also, as well, I really do appreciate all of the kind comments and words of encouragement that people do leave. I do read and respond to all of them. And of course, all the questions that get asked in the comment section as well, I do look to get back to those as soon as I am able to. Don't forget about the cheat sheet that is in a link, top link in the description of this video, my roadmap to crypto success, as well as the link to the Stocks with Josh Discord, the most incredible Discord on the planet. And that is also linked in the description. It's also linked in the cheat sheet. You can join me in there. I'm there on a daily basis interacting with the incredible people that we have in there. Many of you are watching right now. A big shout out how much I appreciate all of you. Okay, so we're going to talk about when could this cycle top come to an end. Here we have Ali charts. Historically, Bitcoin has reached market tops roughly 8 to 12 months. If this pattern continues, the next potential market top for Bitcoin could occur between July and November. I'm going to narrow it down a little bit more as we go on, though. Okay, so the next one here, Bitcoin is now the sweet spot of the bull market, having the halving cycle that should top in 130 to 150K range next August and September. Okay, so when this guy has it in Peter Brandt, August and September time frame. So we have July to November, August, September, which is actually in that time frame, but a little bit more. Then we have Marty Party stating that he's got it here at September 2025. Although, of course, there is a little bit of a May 2025 drop, and then September 2025 there for Bitcoin, and that's possibly what could happen there as well. So to be ready for that. And then here we have, with the US election now behind us, the titan of crypto, clash of the titans there, the titan of crypto, usually tops 12 to 13 months later. This suggests a potential cycle peak around the end of 2025. So that would take us through to around November. Last time it was November, although we did have that mid-cycle dump around April that caught a lot of people off guard and scared the pants off everybody, including me. But I bought the fear, and that was the main thing. Now, certainly it's interesting to note that there's generally a drop in 2025 about 850 days from the cycle low. That would put us in around March. And then, of course, the cycle top is right now statistically going to be somewhere between September, October time. That's when we would look to finish this. So September, Rectember, although we didn't much have a Rectember this year, of course, but certainly that is where I'm going to be quite looking to be a lot out of the market by then. Maybe not 90%, maybe 80% out of the market. And I don't want anybody to be confused about this. I'm not planning on suddenly dumping 80 or 90% in September. I plan to be out by the time we get there. That means I'm taking profits periodically on the way up to the end of the market cycle. Okay, so very, very important. There's a big difference between those two there, of course. Now, could we have the sell in May and go away, or we could have the early March dump like we had earlier this year in March? That's quite possible that we had the sell in May and go away actually came early in March because the cycle was a little bit accelerated because of the Bitcoin ETF. And we still are a little bit accelerated. So does that mean that the cycle top could occur a little earlier, like in August, and catch everybody off guard? Absolutely. And so certainly we want to be prepared for whatever scenario will come. But we can certainly expect sometime, I believe personally, around September and October to be the cycle top, and November at the very latest, and August if it came a little bit earlier. So to be prepared in that area, and that we could see a mid-cycle dump somewhere between March and May, just like we did last time when it happened in April. But it's possible again that it comes a little earlier in March like it did this year. And things have been following year to year a bit of a pattern, because we did take off in October of 2023, and we've done the same thing here in October. We started to take off in October of 2024. So certainly those are my thoughts. Again, not financial advice, because I'm not a financial advisor. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. Are you not entertained? So let's have a look quickly at the Bitcoin charts here. And certainly the tribal trades trend line is running strong right here. Certainly if we broke below this, I put this trend line in, clearly we have found support on this trend line, okay? And so if we break below here, and then we come back up and retest this trend line, and price is rejected, it's rejected at that price, then we could certainly start to come down. We've got the Fibonacci level here at 73,000, around 73,500 there. Remember, we've got the fair value gap from 74,400 down to about 70,400. Generally, these fair value gaps do get filled. They don't always get filled right away. They can take a number of days, weeks, maybe even months to play out and get filled. Certainly, we could pop all the way up to 80,000 before we to come back and touch that fair value gap. They don't always get completely filled. That's something very important to note. They could just be partially filled. So what are some levels? If we do lose this tribal trades trend line, this really could be the last chance we get to pick up Bitcoin in these lower areas here. And so I'm looking at, personally, the 73,500 Fibonacci level is an area of interest that I would be looking to enter some kind of a day or a swing trade, even maybe pick up some more for HODL for the long term. If we really believe this cycle, as I shared yesterday, the cycle top, if I reevaluated and adjusted that to 170,000. But just remember this also, that Bitcoin has the cup and handle formation that broke out of has a technical target to about $105,000, which may still end up being the market cycle top. And that was my original market cycle top, and I have readjusted that to about 170. Ethereum, by the way, and we'll talk about this trade a little bit in the altcoin show, it's starting to break out, or it has broken out of its, I haven't looked at the latest, it's pretty early in the morning here, but it's either broken out or is about to break out of its cup and handle formation. That technical target to the upside is $5,000, which could also end up being the cycle top for Ethereum as well. So if we look at this here and say, if we do have this breakdown sooner rather than later, and we kind of get stuck here and keep retesting this as a support, it's only a matter of time before we're going to break through, okay? We're kind of hugging it rather than clearing off from it. Then there we would see the 73,000, $400 to $500 level, and then coming down to the fair value gap here around 70,500, 70,600 level to which is the bottom of that fair value gap. We do have the other tribal trades trend line here with the Fibonacci's at around 69,800, and then there's 68,500 there as a level of interest. Certainly there. There can be some trades there. If you're short-term swing trading, of course, if you take an entry here, because this could be quite bullish, a retest the support and then off we go. Certainly, you could still put your stop loss here. You can manually stop out of this trade if it breaks below and then retest back up to it. And then you would just quickly go to the 15-minute time frame to take that trade, by the way. So if it comes back down below here and then comes below and comes back up, and retest there and rejects, then you can get out of the trade exactly where you entered it. You can see this doing this many times. Here it retests the support, retests the support, retests the support. Here we had a rejection, so you would have got out of the trade actually here, but then you had gotten back in the trade here. And so you're getting in and out of trades with no real major net loss. And of course, you got to go to bed at times. And so if you're still in a trade, you just have to put a stop loss where, and I shared this yesterday, and I am going to do a stop loss video that people can refer to and add it to the cheat sheet. Best place to put a stop loss is how much are you prepared to lose on the trade? If somebody puts $100 trade in, you may only decide that you want to lose $10 on the trade, so you put your stop loss 10% under, so you only lose $10 on the trade, okay? But you might have $10,000 in the trade and you decide you only want to watch, you're only prepared to lose $500 on that trade, then you'd put your stop loss 5% under the trade. That's how I'm managing the two different ways of managing the stop loss. Okay, we'll look at the liquidation levels here before we wrap up. But certainly here, you can see there is plenty of liquidation below. There is plenty of liquidation above price as well here. So certainly we could see a situation where we come down. There seems to be more liquidity down here, and this would fill our fair value gap underneath price. So we could shoot up and take this liquidity at 77,700 and then shoot back down and grab all this liquidity down here at 75, 74, 73. So it just keeps coming down. It's just people going to get liquidated if the price over leveraged longs that have bet the market is going to go high and they borrowed too much money at too high leverage. So you can see there, certainly that could happen, but certainly we could see a flush to the downside first before moving up there. But certainly if I was the market maker, I would probably go up, and it's so close to price, I'd go up and grab that price, and then I would come down and flush down here, fill that fair value gap, give everybody possibly the last chance to get Bitcoin at that mid to low 70s price before taking it to Valhalla. Certainly, because that would be to the upside where I'm looking at right now, certainly would be the Fibonacci level up here. I haven't got it marked, but I should mark it here at about 79,000 is my target for Bitcoin to get to in the month of November, is that 79 to $80,000 target. Certainly that is in play, and I do think it's very realistic there. All right, we're going to wrap it up there. And of course, as always, until the next episode, which is the Altcoin Show coming up in a couple of hours at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, happy trading.